Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Brendan and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, it is great to have you and welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis. Now, Bitcoin is currently hanging on by a thread by what appears to be a descending triangle formation. Now, this was brought to my attention last night during my live stream when one of my viewers came in and said, hey, what do you think about a descending triangle forming on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart? And while I was initially opposed to it, I think the more that this has progressed, the more I am inclined to believe that this is actually the case, especially with this most recent price action of Bitcoin coming all the way up to around $10,500, of course rejecting and then really bouncing off of this same support line that it's been doing for over a week now. So I want to dive into Bitcoin just a little bit and explain why this could get very ugly for Bitcoin should it decide to break this point, because this is right around that significant 9,600 support level for Bitcoin, and a measured move of this size would lead us back down to a very, very dangerous area. So if any of that sounds interesting, guys, make sure you guys stick around for the entire duration of the video, as there will be important information discussed the entire way through. But let's go ahead and dive on into this. Now, first things first, let's draw up what this descending triangle would actually look like. And so the way that we're going to do this is just straight off the 4-hour. We're going to connect our first resistance level right up in here with our second, which is going to be right in here, and then our third, which is going to be right around this area, right below the 50 EMA. So when this happens, you can see that, of course, this second touch point is actually a rejection of this massive uptrending parallel channel that we had been in for months now. And if we want to go ahead and put the floor of this ascending triangle in, I think it's safe to say that this relative area over here has been a support level for Bitcoin for some time now. And so I think that what most people are worried about here is that, of course, with us ricocheting in this area, it might be time for us to break down. And this measured move could lead us to below $9,000, which is obviously the pivotal point that Bitcoin needs to hold if it wants to set a higher swing low in the macro of this bull market that we have had since March of 2020. So if we want to go ahead and take a deeper look at this on even a 1-hour chart, I think the more that we break this down, the scarier that this becomes for Bitcoin, because obviously, yes, this does look like a descending triangle, and with that being a very, very bearish formation pattern, because of what it symbolizes, in that, while the bears are kind of gaining momentum and getting consecutively lower and lower and lower, the bears are only able to hold what they have, and they're not able to climb and squeeze it all towards the upside. So the entirety of this is squeezing further and further and further down until support breaks. Now, on top of this, we do have the 4-hour death cross on the Bitcoin chart, but I think one of the biggest saving graces over here is actually looking at this MACD and this RSI, because if we're looking at these guys, obviously we're seeing a form of double bullish divergence on this is the 1-hour, but looking back over to the 4-hour, we do have the opposite of that happening, and we actually see the MACD falling off. But what this really starts to get interesting is when we look at the 1 day for the MACD, and we can see that the 1 day daily MACD has already started to round off towards the upside. Now, if you like indicators, this is what you like to see, because this is probably the most bullish thing that Bitcoin currently has going for it right now. Of course, the 1 day is still sitting very neutral on the RSI, and if we move this to the 4-hour chart, you do have some nice action over here, but what this has led to is Bitcoin being back in a neutral territory for both the 4-hour and the 1 day RSI, which tells me that this has more potential to the downside should it really want to go down there. Now, obviously, there is potential for this to the upside as well, but I think that Bitcoin is certainly in a bit of a danger zone from the way that it has been developing this recent price action. I never like to see a descending triangle, and I certainly don't like to counter trade them. So as someone who has been getting more into swinging and margin trading and currently does this quite a bit, I am not going to be the one to counter trade a descending triangle. Now, some people are going to debate me. They're going to say that this is not a descending triangle. I think the thought alone of holding a relative level of support, as I can highlight, right in this area, and then having 3 lower swing highs, whether they connect perfectly or not is another question. This concept is what makes the concept of a descending triangle come into fruition. So again, I'm not looking to necessarily long here. I'm not saying that I'm opposed to buying cryptocurrency, because obviously I am very bullish on cryptocurrency for the long term, and I don't want that to be misled by this video. But I will not certainly be longing this area. And so, maybe we hold, if we can hold in this area and see like a nice little bottom and some nice buying pressure, I will be convinced. But until we form some sort of a higher swing high over here and we break this habit of getting consecutively lower swing highs, I just don't have too much faith that Bitcoin will hold. Again, I really hope that I'm wrong here, but I think with this squeezing to the downside the way that it's looking right now, especially after the second half of this day, I'm a little bit hesitant to do any kind of a long scenario on Bitcoin. But volume has started to fall off again. Nothing too significant, nothing that makes me think that we're just going to explode. But, should this floor break on Bitcoin, again, we do have some room to the downside over here, and I'm afraid that things could get nasty should it break. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up this video, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. And I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Bitcoin? Let me know there, and I will get ready to see you guys in the next video, because we got some more great content coming out this week. We're going to be talking about some of the altcoins, and especially Ethereum, because Ethereum has been quite the hot topic. So that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.